Welcome to Corneroffmainstream, where you will get your 5 non-mainstream movie review from me, BigThun. Before I start, I just want to let you know I got a new podcast out. You can go to BigThun.com. Check out my podcast. I do one once a week. New one generally comes out on Wednesday, and I talk about the new movie of the week or the previous week that came out in the theaters. And I and my co-host, the Berg, we review it, we talk about it, and then from there the conversation goes wherever it goes. It's called BigThun's Wild Ride with the Berg at BigThun.com. Check it out. All right, so let's get started. The first one's a comedy. It's called Super 2010. This one's with Rainn Wilson. Ellen Page is also in it. Funny movie, I love it. I love Rainn Wilson. I think he's hilarious. And pretty much what it is his wife. He fell in love with his wife. She was a drug addict, and he helped get her clean. And he's devoted to her. He just truly loves her. And somewhere along the line, she kind of falls off the wagon and gets seduced by the drug kingpin of the area, who is no other than Kevin Bacon. And Rainn Wilson kind of freaks on it, and he tries to go to cops or whatever. He wants his wife back, and there's nothing he can do. And he comes up with this super costume, right? And he is the Crimson Bolt, and he's going to fight crime, but as well get his wife back from the drug dealer. And Ellen Page ends up being his sidekick. And I got to tell you, Ellen Page looks pretty good in her little costume. All right. Funny movie, great. Check it out. All right, super. Watch it, rent it, see it, buy it. It's a great movie. Check it out. The next one is called After Sex. It came out in 2007. It's a romantic comedy, and pretty much what it is it kind of follows 8 couples. Some of them from the beginning of the relationship to the middle of the relationships to the end of the relationships, and it kind of is about the intimate, vulnerable conversation in which takes place after sex. Like you have this one gay couple where the guys are talking about who's the butch and who's the femme of the relationship. You have another couple where it's their first time, and they kind of delve into those conversations that kind of take place after sex. And it's a really good movie. It's funny. It had some big stars in it. Mila Kunis was in it. Her, and a couple other people. I don't even remember at this point. But great movie. Watch it, rent it, see it, buy it, check it out. Again, it's called After Sex. It was a 2007 romantic comedy. You really dig it. The next one's called ShortBus. Came out in 2006. It's a comedy drama. It's kind of funny that all these movies kind of are going to be on the sex side. It's called ShortBus, and it's about a woman, Sophia, who her husband is kind of incapable, of bringing her to orgasm, and so she has her own little problem, and while she's doing couples therapy because she's the therapist, she kind of accidentally lets it slip out, and the couple that's there are like, listen, there's this party called the ShortBus party. Gay people, straight people, lesbians, you name it, they all go. And it's kind of like to some degree it's a support group where they can talk about sex and their stuff, but at the same time there's a main ballroom where, then again, if you want to be part of the action, jump right in. And what happens is Sophia ends up connecting with a dominatrix, and her struggle now becomes the dominatrix can get into casual relationships, but not a deep emotional one, so there's a little extra problem in there. But it's a great movie. It was pretty funny. It's good for a nice little quiet night. Again, it's called ShortBus 2006. Watch it, rent it, see it, buy it, check it out. It's a good one. Again, now we're going. We got another one. It's called The O in Ohio. It was 2006 comedy drama. Parker Posey's in it, and she's married to Paul Rudd, and almost same situation. Her husband, is just, doesn't do it for her in the bedroom, and he's getting a little upset over the fact that he can't turn his wife on, and he's a school teacher, and he ends up leaving her and hooking up with one of his students. And Parker Posey, what happens is she goes to a sexual therapist who teaches her masturbation. The fact that there's different ways and how to do it, and it kind of, in a way, reinvigorates her life and brings her out of her sullen existence. But it's called The O in Ohio. It was 2006 comedy drama. Watch it, rent it, see it, buy it. You'll love it. It's a good one. Check it out. And I want to finish with this one. And I got to tell you, this is a must see. It definitely is. It's a 2007 documentary. It's called SurfWise. It's about a doctor who one day finds out that his best friend and colleague is banging his wife. All right, like I said, it's a documentary. You should, the whole thing's true. It's wacky, and he kind of just, in a way, his attitude just becomes fuck it, and he goes over to Israel and he's hanging out over there, and he goes surfing, and he kind of turns into a local hero, like, oh my god, I got to surf, he can teach all of us, and he gets into that. Then a little later on after that, he's in a bar and he's talking to a woman, and he's got this weird thing where he talks to women, he rates them on a scale of 100, and let me tell you, everything's in his head, and he's sitting talking to this one woman, and he finds that based on his scale, she's a 93, and he just thinks that's crazy. How can any woman be a 93? This is impossible. So he ends up living. He's living in a Studebaker that's like abandoned somewhere. Ends up taking her to his home, and he's just like, you know what? First night, you know what? Let's just screw everything. We're getting married. I love you. And she's like, okie doke. Gives up being a doctor. I think he has like 7 kids who were all conceived in the back seat of that Studebaker, and they end up just traveling the country, no job, no nothing. They grow their own food. They have like other friends that are like live in communes. They stop off for food. Not one of the kids has a full set of clothes because they just couldn't afford it. And there was times when the dad would be like, "Well, if we got a dime, that's it," and that was that. And they literally, he would be driving and be like, "You know what? I'm going the wrong way." He'll just turn around and start driving in another direction. And, and pretty much what it was, they were just driving from beach to beach to beach, surfing and surviving. The kids were really good with music, great voices and everything. It was real wacky. But then you end up seeing what happens to the kids when they get older. They didn't go to school. They didn't really learn street smarts or anything. And so, they kind of end up being very vulnerable to the world, not knowing how things worked. Crazy documentary, very worth watching. Again, it's called SurfWise. Came out in 2007. Watch it, rent it, see it, buy it, check it out. I'm telling you, you'll like it. That's what I got for this week. Again, Corneroffmainstream@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter, BGTHUN, BigThun, as well as Instagram. And check out BigThun.com for my podcast. Right now, we got 3 episodes up. We got episode 4 going up on Wednesday. We talk about Pacific Rim. We talk about the movie The Heat. Check it out, download them, you'll enjoy them, and I'll check you next week out on the corner off Main Street.